I'm going to try to get through this as quickly and respectfully as I can, but this is something that I have to make because, like many, many people, Ozzy has been a part of my life since age 5 or 6. I mean, I was introduced to him at a young age, especially, I think I heard his debut album first before I heard Black Sabbath, but either way, you get the point. And obviously, he's mainly one of the pioneers for heavy metal in itself, as Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin mainly came about at the same time, and those two bands are largely credited for creating the heavy metal genres. Back when those bands were out, nobody had ever heard anything like that before, and it was controversial at the time, and now it's a really, really big genre where I like to call it the outcast genre, and it finally gave us Outcast some place to go and just relate to in a way when it came to music. And when I was 7 years old, 20 years ago almost, next month will be 20 years since I had the privilege for my 7th birthday to go to Ozfest down in Washington, D.C. And I got to see a bunch of great bands that day. But obviously, I was very, very excited to see Ozzy, because that was mainly the one reason that I wanted to go, was Ozzy Osbourne, because all the other bands there, yes, I do like now, but I didn't necessarily know too well for me to get too excited about at the time. And I'll tell you what, Ozzy was 56 years old at the time of that show, and he still came out and kicked ass, because it was really, really hot that day. It was 80, 90 degrees, and he came out and just kicked ass, and, I had fun, even though I almost got a heat stroke, but, things turned out to be okay, and me and my dad had an absolute blast. I shared that picture of me at Ozfest after his final show, just to kind of give a good send-off, knowing that, Ozzy's never going to perform live again. Little did we know that this was going to happen, as it was announced that Ozzy Osbourne has passed away at the age of 76, seemingly out of nowhere. I mean, we known for years that he's been sick and fighting illness, and obviously can't really stand up and walk anymore. He was wheelchair ridden, and of course during his final show, he sat on this throne-like chair, but needless to say, still kicked ass doing it. So it's kind of not surprising in a way, because we knew this time was going to come eventually and soon, but now that it's actually here and it's actually happened, you just can't seem to comprehend it. He's one of those people that has lived through so much, and that probably shouldn't have been here to begin with. So the fact that he lasted this long and touched so many people's lives, it's amazing, because what I saw on that stage that day wasn't just genuinely, oh, he's here for the entertainment, and when he gets off stage, he's nothing like that. Ozzy just had that personality. I mean, I know early on there was the drugs and stuff, but even after he got clean, he just showed us what you saw on stage, and what you see from him in general is just Ozzy. It's a genuine performance, and you can tell he cared so much about the craft of the music, but also being the entertainment to the people. He realized that his fans are the reason is where he's at, and he was just so grateful for us, and we were grateful for him, and it was just reciprocated back, and that's what made it so special in this sense. And he was just a genuinely kind human being. I saw this interview with Sharon a while back where she said if Ozzy said I love you, he genuinely meant it. He wasn't just saying it to make you feel better or whatever. He genuinely felt that way about you, and that basically meant, you're part of his friend group, and it didn't matter if you were a small band or artist coming up or a big band or artist, he was going to treat everybody equally, and that was the cool thing about him. And I just, the fact that it's come to an end permanently, it's sad now. It really, really is. I mean, I can't really put it into words. He's just basically been a part of my childhood, and now me turning 27 very soon, the fact that he's been in my life this long, I can't comprehend. life without Ozzy, but at the same time, he's not really gone because his music will live on, whether through Black Sabbath or, his old stuff. I mean, No More Tears is still one of my favorite metal albums of the 90s, with Mama, I'm Coming Home being one of my favorite ballads of all time. And that was the thing. He can make you cry, but he can also just make you headbang and rock out whenever he felt like it. And he can also get political here and there. I mean, look at Black Sabbath with War Pigs. It's a very, very political song. He could do it all, and he entertained through other ways too. I mean, obviously there was the Osbournes TV show. I loved Jack and Ozzy's World Detour. That was a fun little show as well. He always seemed to want to do something. He always seemed to want to go on an adventure and have fun and just be wild and do what he does to the best extent that he could. And even when he was wheelchair ridden and his body was basically saying, no, you shouldn't do this, he went out and gave us one more hell of a performance, and his body decided, all right, you had your chance now, it's time to just officially shut down. And now, hopefully, he's resting well, and I hope that, Sharon, Jack, and Kelly, and everybody else in the Osbourne family has time to mourn, and I wish them the best moving forward, because this is a big loss. It really is. I think this is the first musician death that's hit me since Chester Bennington, and considering his death anniversary was just a couple days ago, it's July is going to be a sad month for a lot of rock and metal fans for the upcoming years. That's all I really got to say. But yeah, that's it for me. I really don't know how to end videos like this, because I don't want to do my regular outro because it just doesn't seem to fit. So I guess I'll leave it with, thank you, Ozzy, for all the times in my life you've been there when I've needed you through the music, and thank you for just entertaining people throughout their lives and being an inspiration to many, and just genuinely being you, while also being able to put on this gimmick that made the entertainment even better. I'm glad that I got to spend the time with you, and I will never, ever forget you.